Mike, if I can call you Mike.
You can.
This is really a pleasure. We've been talking about this for a while, getting together and actually doing an interview. And this new season, this is your 6th season with Ailey.
It is, yes.
And so you've come from, when you first came in, there's an energy I know you have, getting acclimated to being in this dance machine, literally.
Great work. That was good. Well, I think coming from Danko, and my background is black dance, and I feel like that kind of prepared me for Ailey. All of the things that I was really afraid of about Ailey, I kind of was prepared for at Philadelphia and Dallas Live Dance Theater, and even DTH, Second Company. It prepared me for this machine that is ongoing and nonstop.
And I think what you just said is most people, for some reason, think that you took, I know they don't, but the idea of taking 4 dance lessons and getting an Alvin Ailey, it doesn't work that way. I mean, you had a track record of working with other companies, other environments that help you build and gain the acumen you needed for this gig.
Yeah, and I started late. Like the boys usually start late. I started at 14 years old, and it just kind of happened. Like all of the opportunities just came, which I wasn't ready for, but I took them as they came. Yeah.
So your new season starts on November 29th. That's next Wednesday.
Yes, it is. We have a lot of new pieces coming this year too. Jamar Roberts has choreographed a piece, his first piece on the company, Members Don't Get Weary. We have another new piece by Gustavo Ramirez. It's called Victoria. I think it's Spanish for victory. And some new productions of some old works. Jawale Shelter is coming back. Golden Section by Twala Tharp, which I love. But my favorite, I think, is The Stack Up by Tali Beatty. It's just, I think that's kind of one of the things that kind of makes Ailey separate from others, other companies, the combination of dance and theater. And that work, The Stack Up, is that mix. It's the perfect mix of dance and theater. And I feel like it's a little bit of a mirror of the times now too. I'm not really sure what the year that it premiered, but I know that now it's still relevant. I had done his works before Ailey, and my first time doing his works maybe was at Philadelphia, and we did A Rag,
A Bone and a Hank of Hair.
And that was my first introduction into Tali Beatty, and yes. I feel like that's my conclusion word, yes, when it comes to Tali.
And I'm so glad they're bringing it back. We had talked earlier that choreographers, once they die, they have a very short shelf life before people forget who they are.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And he's somebody that at one point they used to call him the Black Dean of Dance.
Oh wow. Wow, that's kind of how I feel about Revelations too, because it kind of keeps it so timeless to where, people who start to forget about Mr. Ailey and all of the things that he's done, they can come to the performance and see Revelation and kind of be reminded of all of the groundbreaking work that he did for us as a people, and Tali Beatty, he did his Ulysses Dub. They've done so many great groundbreaking things for us as black people, and yes, it is forgotten, but the pieces, they speak.
And speaking of a masterwork, I hear that for the gala, they're bringing back an excerpt of Sweet Otis.
Yes, we just had rehearsal for that. My last time in a studio with George Faison was at Philadelphia, and he walked in and he closed the door. And it was the first time that I had ever had the door closed at Philadelphia. And it was an intense rehearsal, but the product was amazing. And having him come here last week, it was kind of a little bit of that same feel. He's just such a character. And to me, I always say this, like the dancer-choreographer relationship is very sensitive, and you're able to feel what the choreographer is feeling, or you're just kind of sensitive to what they are. If they get up and move, how they use their hands, how they look. And with Mr. Faison, he gives you so much to choose from. Like, he's up, he's jumping, he's dancing, like he's showing you, he's screaming, he's yelling, he's, you know, like he's doing so much for you to feed off of. And I think as a dancer performing his work, it makes you want to push more. It makes you want to make him happy. You want to make him move. And that's my that's my goal when I'm with him. That's my goal. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of another person who I know has inspired you, back on October 2nd, you did a performance that was called an informal performance. Mm-hmm. It's a tribute to Arthur Mitchell. Mm-hmm. I know you worked in the DTH too.
Mm-hmm. I did for a year. It was my first job out of New York. I was so broke. Oh, I was so broke. Broke in New York City. I was 18, 19 years old, and he gave me a chance. And getting to experience this performance with him it made me feel like 18 a little bit, because, you know, he's so commanding and kind of like fatherly. So as soon as I walked into the room, before he had even said hello, he was like, "Oh, shoulders back," so like giving me notes already. And I don't know, it's once again like Mr. Faison, it makes you want to be good for them as well as yourself. And that's something that as a professional, because you're expected and it's like, oh, I'm a professional, so I know that you're going to produce. So it's nice to kind of have that relationship again. And he's had so much information. And as a black man in dance in 2017, I need the information. And I'm 30 years old, and I still feel like there's so much for me to learn in this art form that I've been in since I was 14. You know, I'm always learning new things, and Mr. Mitchell is like the greatest teacher of life. Yeah.
Listen, I want to thank you.
Thank
for
you.
taking the time
Thank
out.
you.
This was a great interview. It had lots of energy.
I know. Screaming.
Nice. And I want to thank you again. And everybody come out. The season starts on the 29th of November and runs through New Year's Eve. So
December 31st, yeah.
Yeah, so there's something for everybody in this season.
Yay.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.